Episode 1 was just the intro. Episode 2 is where the real drama and hit the fan. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another ZATIMA video. Every single Thursday, BET Plus is dropping 2 new episodes of season 1 of ZATIMA, which premiered on September 22nd. In this video, we are going to be breaking down the second episode of the premiere night as we get to the nitty-gritty with the drama and all of the chaos that ensues from another body popping out of Zac's closet. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give your good sis a follow, and like the video because I think that you're going to like it. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into it. Off Belinda's announcement of her and ZAC sleeping together, we enter episode 2. And newsflash, homegirl, you announcing we is not exactly the way that you want to break that news to your best friend about the boyfriend that she happens to be head over heels for. But in this moment, we clearly get to see the type of female friend you are. Apparently, Belinda slept with ZAC 2 years ago and met Karen, and then after, she tried to confront Karen at the hair salon. She wound up making Karen her hairstylist, and it's the messiness for me. Belinda starts to show some crocodile tears on the balcony as she reveals how she and ZAC hooked up years ago to Fatima and Angela, but when she gets back into dinner, she continues on with the hostile, messy energy. They proceed with this dinner when they know good and damn well that they should have ended it with the whole ZAC and Belinda sex bomb. We are then forced to endure a childish ZAC shooting death stares and middle fingers across the table towards Belinda as she returns aggressive energy with the ridiculous lines of questioning and even more spicy statements about ZAC as a person. Girl, you don't even know ZAC as a person. My question is, ZAC, if you planned on sleeping with Belinda once and never seeing her again, then why did you even give her your phone number? ZAC complained that the multiple calls and texts made no sense, but he gave her his number after their first and only rendezvous. And speaking of one night stands, this seems to be ZAC's MO because he has also only slept with Helena once. Y'all remember the airport worker who also claimed to be pregnant but was lying from the jump? And of course, the baby mama and stripper Heather Jennings only got the one ride on a ZAC roller coaster while he was blowing off steam at the strip club. And it all makes you wonder, how many more one-offs are there in ZAC's rearview mirror? Even though Belinda was being a shitty friend, she says so much that a lot of the audience has kind of wanted to be honest about with ZAC thus far, as he's been skateboarding into this glorious new life and money and more prestige without fully atoning for the raggedy ass Negro that he has been thus far. Ultimately, the tension between the former lovers, ZAC and Belinda, bulls up, and as a result, he lashes out verbally. Let me take a moment to deep dive into my issue with his response. Now, ZAC using this moment to defend himself is fine, but him belittling Karen as a way to do it, I'm actually not here for, because it's not Karen's job to position you and your mindset in a place of better confidence, self-esteem, and growth. ZAC needed to hold his own and be grounded with Karen the same way that he is fighting tooth and nail to do so with Fatima. It's great that you're in a better place financially now with Fatima. However, that's more to do with you becoming who you think you need to be to keep this woman versus you checking your when you was with Karen and being able to be who she actually deserved as well. I truly hate the conversation point that too many people are making in the sisters fandom that ZAC wasn't able to succeed because of Karen, and now he's succeeding because of Fatima. The conversation in full is much more nuanced than that. Aside from Fatima getting ZAC back into chain breakers after Hayden targeted him and had him ousted as a way to stop him from getting close to Fatima, she had very little to do with the financial windfall that ZAC has stumbled upon. Die-hard ZATIMA fans very conveniently forget that Karen's mother is actually who initiated getting ZAC into the opportunity with chain breakers. I took half of my day yesterday, delayed this video just so that I could go back and rewatch the second half of season 1 and find the exact moment in time where Karen's mom goes to ZAC. This moment happens to be spread over multiple episodes as she comes to Danny's house to talk to ZAC with the hopes of getting him and Karen back on the right path. I got a Let's Talk About ZAC video coming where we will explore the character that is ZAC, his actions, his beliefs, mistakes, wins, and again, overall character as we've seen thus far in the Sisters universe. Subscribe so that you don't miss when I post that video. But by proxy, since it was Karen's mother that made him talk to Chris And Chris that told him about chain breakers and gave him the advice on how he turned his life around after Chris was in jail for 6 years, Karen is responsible partly for him getting that initial boost that he needed to turn his life around. And honestly, I would go as far as to say at minimum, Karen and Fatima are equally responsible for the shift that we saw ZAC make in his life. However, I'm still waiting on the greatest shift of all to happen, which is with his mindset, so that he can be fully free to be the confident and dope man that he is meant to be. Now back to the episode. It's mentioned that Belinda goes to Karen to get her hair done, but how does she know that she's actually pregnant? Because that was something that Karen and most of the people were keeping very close to the chest. It took forever for her to even reveal it to her sisters. While it was rude and condescending for Belinda to bring up everything in the way that she did, especially given their history, it did provide a great opportunity for ZAC to show that he had actually changed, if he had actually changed. Not just the kind of, I don't cheat on my current love of my life no more kind of change. I get a lot of comments when I mention that I think that ZAC hasn't changed that much when you really think about it. That gives me pushback, and this is the perfect opportunity to touch on that conversation. But I do have a video coming as well that's going to be discussing if ZAC has actually changed and all of the reasons why I think so or not. So if you want to hear that deep dive into that reasoning, check that video out. And this is the way that I think that ZAC could have handled the situation better and actually showed that he changed if he really has changed, right? Instead of standing his ground and finding confidence in the fact that he's in a healthy relationship, financially stable, and for the first time in a very long time, he is actually happy, he allowed a random one-night stand from the past to completely throw him off his game in his house, to the point that he leaves his own house. While I don't think that he could sit there emotionless while listening to Belinda hurl insults and his whole facts at him, I do think that he could have rest assured that Fatima knows him and loves him. What he did with her was 2 years ago, and Fatima knows everything about the relationship with Karen. So nothing that Belinda said was actually news to her, except for the fact that they had actually slept together. Fatima sat there trying not to pick a side initially because she loves both of them and she trusted ZAC. He gave Belinda all the power she needed for that battery in her back to belittle him, and though he cussed her out before leaving, he could have stayed in control of the dinner and in his home if he had been a little bit more mature and secure with his relationship. Further proof of ZAC repeating old patterns pops up when he returns home from his walk and he's expecting Fatima to be mad. She is annoyed, trying her best to keep her ride or die mature persona, and we're gonna talk about Fatima. We definitely gonna talk about her. But his demeanor just gave old ZAC with Karen, who used to be like, go ahead, let me have it, talk your shit, after he did something wrong. A more mature ZAC would anticipate anger but fully empathize and not take the bait, pushing them into a childish argument about body counts. Speaking of which, what's interesting is how Fatima says that she's not concerned with what ZAC has done in his past, but then goes on to ask him how many women does she have to endure? Is there any place that he hasn't stuck his you-know-what at? I'm not faulting her for asking these questions because the drama keeps growing daily when it comes to ZAC and his past, but the truth is, you do care. You just also are really fighting hard to maintain this mature ride or die persona. I think that we're seeing the setup for her not being honest about her feelings regarding each situation and the emotional pileup that could be happening with each new woman and their derogatory claims. Or at least that's how it seems. Fatima is a very honest person and she is speaking up, but it also seems like she's holding back a lot. Fatima is very strong, intelligent, and independent. However, we have watched her devolve seemingly over the course of 3 seasons of Sisters as we watch her relationship with ZAC grow. She has gone from a very pulled together, astute, and strategic woman working her way to becoming a lawyer into a hopelessly in love ride or die that's not afraid to take a bat to somebody's grandmother's ashes or hire goons to string up an enemy naked on the hood of his car. In some of the most chaotic Fatima moments, I was rooting for her to get her lick back because nobody wants to watch a black woman being stalked, harassed, or victimized. But there is now seemingly no lengths that Fatima won't go to in the name of her newfound love in any of the drama or dramatic people they bring into her life. Aside from her slight assault of Heather Jennings at the strip club last episode, I have no complaints about Fatima's actions in episodes 1 and 2 of ZATIMA. But watching her question Zac's body count and be forced to accept the awkward at best and disrespectful at worst moment between Belinda and ZAC at dinner is starting to draw bigger and bigger red flags for me. As she said, how much does she have to endure? How much is too much? Will paying the bills, laying great pipe, and talking to her nice be enough to combat all of the other things in Zac's world? Season 1 of ZATIMA is sure to take on those questions, hopefully giving us clear answers by episode 10. Though it's tension between ZAC and Fatima in the midway point of the episode, this series is doing a really good job of also providing lighthearted moments with comedy. For example, the conversation of them talking about body counts before that scene is over, I am taken to a place that's almost like the series Martin, where Martin tells Gina to head to the border, and it just gives off like that feel of that iconic episode. So we are able to laugh, even though it's clear that there is still some stuff that they need to talk about, still some tension between the two. The next morning, Fatima is a bit distanced, but not in a serious way, more in a comedic way, name dropping Karen and then telling ZAC to hit that mouthwash before leaving him without exchanging any affection, or any physical affection, that is. She plans on doing a DNA test later and is clearly still in it, but there's a noticeable difference between the two mornings. This morning versus yesterday morning, where she was all smiles and kisses before getting gifted that brand new car. Before Zacc can give too much thought to what's going on with him and Fatima, he has to direct his attention to Gretchen, the SEC agent who's assigned to investigating his case. Bryce actually prepares Zacc too good because he has all the right answers, which makes Gretchen believe now more than ever that Zacc did in fact commit insider trading, and she brings the senator's wife up as the way in which he was able to do it. I don't know how Zacc is gonna get out of this one, but I'm gonna need him to get some saving grace and get out of it. Fatima's one-on-one with Belinda at her house is cool in theory, but everything about Belinda screams she is not your friend. She takes accountability and apologizes profusely, but her being able to go to that place over some penis that she experienced once 2 years ago versus prioritizing her friend's feelings and dignity, to me speaks volumes. Unfortunately, the words that were allowed to let fly last night are actually having an impact today, and Fatima is questioning everything, even though she still does know that Zacc truly makes her happy and loves her. What a hell of a place to be in. And with that said, that is my full breakdown of episode 2 of the BET Plus exclusive series, Tyler Perry's ZATIMA. Let me know what you thought about episode 2 in the comment section down below. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Follow me on your favorite social media site so that you stay up to date on my conversations and breakdowns of this amazing dramedy that has hit our television screens. New episodes of ZATIMA, as I mentioned at the top of this video, premiere every Thursday on BET Plus, and I will be coming on Thursday or Friday with my full breakdowns so that we can keep this conversation going. I'm headed to the comment section now to see what y'all think. Meet me there. Beat me there, don't meet me there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.